So our next presenter is Chad Straka, and his presentation is titled Our Gypsy Days. Chad is an artist specializing in caricature. He's performed live caricature at an endless array of tourist destinations, including amusement parks, sports stadiums, beaches, and festivals. He has been an in-demand performer at weddings, trade shows, bar mitzvahs, and company picnics. It's a calling that often requires travel, he says, and Chad has certainly done his share of it. And now he is going to do his presentation where he hits the road again, this time bringing his family. So let's welcome Chad Straka up to the podium, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
See you. Thanks for coming up.
Thank you, Larry. I'd always enjoyed being a retail sketch artist, and I'd always wanted my own stand at the shore on the boardwalk. There'd be good money, and I'd be part of the whole sweet American tradition of the family beach vacation on the Jersey Shore. The beaches at Wildwood certainly epitomize that scenario for me. And I got one in Wildwood with a Dairy Queen on the right and a huge open expanse of beach on the left. It was perfect. It was expensive, though. My rent peaked at $11,500 for the 100-day season, and seasonal housing costs were really high, too. So, to supplement during the winter months, we decided to take the show on the road. We being myself, my wife Liz, and our 3-year-old daughter Violet. Liz signed us up for a bunch of fairs and festivals down south where I could work as a vendor selling caricatures. It was really exciting. We'd be rock stars, traveling, seeing interesting parts of the country, making money, giving Violet all these great memories, etc. I'd worked a couple of local fairs for when we lived in PA and had a sturdy pipe tent. It was bulky to haul, but we knew our easy-up collapsible tent would never have made it through all the rugged demands it would see. There's a lot of logistics to consider when preparing for a tour like this. And our 98 Voyager was our workhorse. There was barely enough room for just our essentials. We packed every little bit of that into there. That IKEA bin down there was vital for Violet to have both a surface to play on, and it held all her toys, so it was great. Violet was a real champ. This time she wasn't in the mood for photographs, so I just put that on there. But she's pretty jammed in there. You couldn't fit a dime in there, you know. Finding the vendor gal or guy is the first thing that you want to do when you reach the fairgrounds. You look for the person on the golf cart with the radio. And you may even find them right away, but they're going to be surrounded by other vendors wanting to know about all about where their location is. Where do I go? What tell me, show me, take me. The tent top gets done first. And you have to be thoughtful here because once the legs go on, the peak is 10 feet off the ground, and it's a lot harder to fix anything to the ceiling, like lights and signs and stuff. It's good to use your vendor gear, like your tables and chairs, to keep the kids busy while you're setting up. In Pensacola, Violet got to hang out with her cousin Maeve, so that's what we're doing while setting up for that one. Or better yet, you can put the kids to work. 16 spikes go into all those footings. And 4 sturdy tent stakes help anchor the corners. Violet always called that tool a hamer. So I always remember that. Can I hamer? Daddy, can I have the hamer? When you're at a festival, your neighbors are really important. At the Okeechobee County Fair, I was worried about being next to Auntie M, the face painter, because caricatures don't do well next to face painting. Somehow, this time it didn't turn out to be a problem. We actually became friends, and she got me a gig in West Palm, like a bat mitzvah or something. The guess your age and weight guy in Tallahassee just drove me nuts. The banter is nonstop over his little loudspeaker. To make it worse, like every customer that came in my tent would keep saying, "Yeah, I bet that guy gets annoying after a while, huh?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, it does. Yeah, thanks." Wherever possible, I recommend setting up your tent next to the tigers. Everybody goes to see the tigers, and then they get to see you. 2 shows a day and 3 on the weekends, so I recommend it, tigers. I couldn't get a good shot. All the career vendors had their RVs. We didn't, of course. So we had to put ourselves up at the extended stay hotels. Again, hats off to Liz for getting all these booked too. Violet still loves it whenever we do a hotel stay. She's a savvy traveler now and loves the pools and the continental breakfasts. Kevin and Rebecca were great neighbors. They had the mechanical bull attraction, which was a huge draw for all the customers, you know. They had their RV and a motorcycle, you know. So they dropped anchor on site with their RV and just tooled around on their bike, you know, whenever they needed to go into town. Here's a few faces from the Osceola County Fair in Kissimmee. During the slow weekdays, you find yourself with a lot of time to get familiar with all your neighbors. And you make some friends too. Elmo in the lower left he called me to make sure I was okay when the flood happened. The fair people didn't tell me there was another company doing caricatures at this Florida fair. It was like this crazy coincidence. We all used to work for the same amusement park company back in the day, and he had the same idea to work this fair. The emotions here were, "Great to see ya! God, I wish you weren't here," you know? For me, the hardest thing about working the fairs was the schedule. Saturdays and Sundays were great, and Monday through half of Friday were dead. So during the week, I'd just get depressed and bitter and a bit scared too, because, you know, you had to make money, you know? So Liz was always positive and supportive during these lulls, and I must dedicate this presentation to her and Violet. It was all fun and draining and very interesting, and they were so generous to go with me so positively through all of it. That's it. Thank you.
Hey, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it. I would totally watch that reality TV show, by the way. Like, the rift between face painters and caricaturists is kind of awesome. Everybody, like, pantsing the weight-guessing guy at the end of the day. It'd be kind of fantastic.